welcome back to a brand new episode of Mighty Mac Week in Review. This is my partner Sarah Pasternak, myself Dave Molinaro. Thank you very much for tuning in. We were off a few weeks for spring break, and then we had a snow day, but we are back in full swing with spring sports.
We're going to kick it off with the baseball and softball teams who were able to escape the cold when they went down to sunny Florida. Let's see how they did.
The baseball team went 4-3 on their Florida spring break trip with a victory over Monmouth College, Hilbert College, and a doubleheader sweep over Geneva College. Eddie Decker was named to the CSAC Weekly Honor Roll as he tossed 6 shutout innings in the win over Hilbert, and Jason McCormick led IU with 9 hits and 11 runs scored in 7 games. The Macs are set to open CSAC play this weekend with 3 games against Centenary.
The softball team now sits at 3-5 overall after going 2-4 in Florida and splitting a pair of games this past Saturday. The Macs beat St. Elizabeth 13-0 and had a comeback 5-4 victory over St. Vincent College as Emily Messi hit a walk-off 3-run double to earn a spot on the CSAC Weekly Honor Roll. This past Saturday, the Macs dropped a contest to Virginia Wesleyan but bounced back with a comeback 10-9 victory over Wesley as Messi played the hero again with a 3-run double for one of her 4 hits, which earned her the CSAC Hitter of the Week. Congratulations. The Macs are due to host Alvernia on Thursday and travel to Caron on Saturday for their CSAC opener.
The women's lacrosse team continued action over spring break when they hosted Wilkes for their second home game. Let's see how they did.
Trailing 1-0 early, Nicole Dominic responds for the Mighty Macs as she scores one of her 2 goals on the day to tie it up in the first half. We move ahead to the second half with the Macs nursing an 11-0 lead, and Lane Kennedy ensures an IU victory as she scores her 5th goal of the day, and the Macs went on to win 14-9.
Hi, we're here with junior women's lacrosse player Hannah Varecchia, who just returned from sunny Florida. Now the women's team is back in action at Draper Walsh Stadium. We're here to hear about how was it scoring your 100th point, your career point.
It was definitely interesting because when it happened, I actually got hit in the face, so I had my bloody nose as I'm hearing Hannah Varecchia scored her 100th point, and I walked off the field and they had to put like cotton sticks like this long, and then they put me back in the game, so I was playing with like cotton sticks out of my nose.
Perseverance.
No one's gonna forget that, that's for sure.
Very nice. And so what are you and the team doing now that you're back here in PA to prepare for the rest of your season, and how are you looking forward to hopefully scoring your 100th goal?
The team has been working really hard. We've had a lot of practices and on and off the field, and we do a lot of like team bonding. The team is like really close this year and we're looking really good, so everyone's putting in 100%, and I think we're going to look really good this season. So
very good. Well,
so 100th goal is going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun. My family's more excited than I am, so
the number one fans.
Yeah, number one fan, definitely. So
awesome. Well, good luck with the rest of your season. Make sure to catch the women's lacrosse team at Draper Walsh Stadium. The IU team went 1-1 the past 2 weeks. Following that win, they defeated Hood in a close game, 9-8. Following that game, Hannah Varecchia and Emily Schumann were named CSAC Players of the Week. Congratulations.
The women have 2 home games this upcoming week on Wednesday, hosting Rutgers Camden, and then CSAC play hosting Centenary on Saturday. On to men's lacrosse, they hosted Lebanon Valley last week. Let's see if they can get an early season win. Here are the highlights. In the second quarter, trailing 2-0, freshman Denton States was called on to make a couple big saves to keep the Macs in the game as he makes one here to keep the deficit 2-0 early on. Ahead to the third quarter, Mike Reardon shows a great individual effort as he dives to the net and scores for the Macs, falling into the crease to get IU on the board. States continued to work deep into the contest and made one of his 18 saves on the day, but it wasn't enough in the defeat for Lebanon Valley. The Macs also fell to Richard Stockton on the road last week, but look to bounce back with 2 games as they travel to Bernathen and then host Keystone on Saturday for their CSAC opener.
The men's tennis team was able to get started. They started with defeat at Alvernia, and now they are anxious to get going again with 3 matches this week. Dave was able to catch up with some of the players.
We're joined here by Immaculata men's tennis player Dom Ramsden. There he is. Dom, how are you?
Dave?
Good, thanks. So the men's tennis team, they're underway. Season's going to start up soon with CSAC play. You have 3 matches this upcoming week, but spring break, we had to deal with some difficulties. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so any spring sport, weather's really a factor with all the rain and whatnot, but especially for us, tennis, the courts have to be dry. Can't play on wet courts or anything like that. So it's definitely been tough. We've spent a couple days at an indoor location right down the road, so that's been nice. Spring break was actually good. It stayed dry for the most part. Got out there, practiced like 2 to 5 every day. So we're pretty ready for the season.
Yep. Anytime we get a men's tennis player in here, I have to ask about Coach Scott. Give me a little inside, give me a little line he says, something from the past few weeks, because he's a crowd favorite.
Yeah, Coach Scott's definitely a legend around here. Our team motto this year, any good shot, he wants to scream, bada bing, bada boom. So that's a good one. But every practice he tells us, try to be the best player on the team, and that'll, correlate to on the court and matches against other teams.
And then what some people know, some don't, you are a two-sport athlete here. The men's tennis team is a lot of those. You are on the soccer team. You had a very good year this year. Can you talk about the transition, either physically or mentally, from a big team sport to playing just by yourself or with doubles, and then the physical aspect of it as well?
So as you said, we're all built basically on two-sport athletes for the most part, and I think that bodes well for us. I know with my sport, soccer, it really helps with the footwork and the tennis. I've started playing tennis junior year of high school just because our tennis coach was an assistant soccer coach, and he said his best teams were built off soccer players. So I think that really helps us. We're very athletic and works well for us.
And then who's your doubles partner?
Steve.
Steve, how's that going with you?
It's going well. We're building some chemistry. First match was a little tough with us. We were playing a good out-of-conference opponent, but we think we're going to be able to compete every match.
And then, as we said, they're on campus this week, opening up the courts Thursday and Friday. Make sure you come and check that out. Dom, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Macs have 2 matches this week on Thursday and Friday, both at home, so make sure you come out as they open up the courts.
After some time off, the track team is going to get going this weekend again as they travel to Ursinus. I was able to catch up with players Gabe Dwyer and Jess McHugh. Hello and welcome back. We are here with freshman Jessica McHugh and senior Gabe Dwyer, 2 members of the track and field team, getting an inside look at how they're preparing for their spring season. Jess, reflect on the winter season a little bit. Tell us what it's like to be a freshman who has set so many records so far.
Well, going into it, I wasn't really expecting anything like that. I've run track since 4th grade, so I just wanted to continue that because it's been my life for so long, and then being able to do that on the team was just kind of a big blessing in my life.
Cool. Track since 4th grade. That's a fun fact there. And then Gabe, so what are you doing? This is your last season. You're a 3-sport athlete. What are you doing to prepare for your last season?
Definitely excited for the last season. The events that I'll be in are the Open 400, 4x4, and then the 400 hurdles as well. I currently hold the record for 400 hurdles, so the big goal for this year is to break my own record again and finish within the top 4 in the conference in our championship meet in May. So just putting in the work, both as a team and then as an individual outside of practice and at practice is the big piece.
Very cool. So with the winter season going on, you guys are done being confined to the gym. What, as a team, are you looking forward to most? As far as goals as a team, working with Coach Alex and all that.
Definitely to compete at our conference meet in May. We're up at Keystone this year, which is a new venue for us. Usually they have it at Gwynedd, so to go up there, and we're up there for the whole weekend, so to go up there and have a good weekend both as individuals and as a team. The team's not very big this year, so it's individual events are going to be very important for us to score high.
And like Gabe said, with it being a smaller team, I'm looking forward to bonding with everyone more because just in my first season, I've really been able to make a lot of great friends so far.
Very good. Well, you can catch both these guys and the track and field team at Ursinus this weekend as they compete in the first of spring. Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Thanks, sir.
After all that snow, we're finally ready for some spring sports. There's action on campus Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Make sure you check out the website for time and dates and come out and support the Mighty Macs.
Definitely be sure to come out for that. We are so glad to be back. We will see you again next Tuesday. That's all we have for this show. My name is Sarah Pasternak.
And I'm Dave Monero.
And
Go
go
Macs.